gets flagged as a pre-existing condition. That's themiracleinglewood.com. We'll see you there Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m.
You have something to say, and we want to hear it. KBLA Talk 1580 is engagement radio, not outrage radio. A place where your hopes, your frustrations, and your ideas are welcome 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Real talk, real people, real Los Angeles. KBLA Talk 1580, the station that sounds like the city looks. Tune in on your AM radio dial at 1580. Download our free KBLA 1580 app or listen live on our website at KBLA1580.com.
Unapologetically progressive.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not too unsettling. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DePrima go way back. Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in to First Things First with the Queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DePrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Hola, Jumbo. What's up? God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. My show is called First Things First, and my very first thing every day is prayer, prayer, prayer. Giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. As per usual, we got a lot to talk about, got a lot to cover. So election season is upon us, but it is a talking point Tuesday. It's also the angelversary of the passing of Prince Rogers Nelson. So it's a lot to cover today. Typically on a talking point Tuesday, we do our best to break down the things we say or that others say that do not serve us and unmask the BS in our discourse. Okay, so that's what we do Tuesdays. You're welcome to hop on the mic or in the comments and do that yourself at any point in time. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. That's the number if you want to do it the old-fashioned way and call me. But, of course, the convo is strong in the YouTube chat. That's KBLA 1580 at youtube.com. Just go into the comments section and join the delegation. The KBLA delegation always has a lot to say, good information. And then, of course, we're streaming now on Facebook every day as well at KBLA 1580. Please like, follow, subscribe, comment again. And you can find me at DePrima Radio, DIPRIMA, and then radio. So same thing, the engagement makes all the difference. Now, the way we do things on Tuesdays, hour one, we look local, what's going on left coast side of town. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive on a hot topic, person or person of interest. Today, we're focusing on Prince Rogers Nelson. Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, the artist, however you relate to him. This is 10 years since we lost him from the planet. So, of course, Tavis Smiley will have 3 whole hours of the man in his own words. But today I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite Prince song, your favorite Prince memory? Did you go see a show? Why is he so important or not important if you're a hater to the culture? So we're going to do that, 800-920-1580. We will chop up national and international politics in hour 2 with our friend and colleague, journalist and artist, comic and podcaster will join us this morning. And then, of course, right now it's me, you, and the microphone telephone. We will be hearing from one of our city council candidates today. And as I was telling Miles earlier, it's kind of an exact science, even though it doesn't seem like it. Depends on which office folks are in. We want to make sure everyone in each particular field is getting the same amount of time. So today we'll hear from a candidate for Council District 1. And each of those candidates will get 15 minutes. Just as you saw, in the Assembly seat 65, everyone gets an hour. I think all of our gubernatorial candidates get 15 minutes because there's like 3,000 people running for governor, even though Betty Yee dropped out yesterday. And so now the only woman left in the race is Katie Porter. But Betty Yee, I like her so much. I mean, she's really done a great job over the years as a lawmaker, but the field is just too crowded with Democrats. And so she looks like the sensible, smart one to me, getting out while, she can still make an impact and while it's not too late. So we're down to 2,999 people running for governor. Each of them will get 15 minutes. So it just depends on what office they're running for. But everyone within that, all the judges get 15. All the whatever that lane is, they all will get the same in the interest of fairness. So we'll hear from one of our candidates today. And right now, we got stuff to talk about. City Hall this morning, my councilwoman, the councilwoman for CD10, Council District 10, which is, I think half of the station is in 10 and half of the station is in 8. The borders are right there. I used to be in Council District 8, and then when Herb Wesson was president of the city council, he moved the lines, and now I'm in Council District 10, even though I did not change houses. So my council member, Heather Hutt, is honoring Prince today in council chambers. That's at 10 in case you want to drop by. And wear your purple, I would say. Wear your purple or your Prince shirt or something. Get a big afro or one of, your rockabilly style hairdos like Prince used to wear. The James Brown hairstyle, something. Show some love. Wear your raspberry beret. But they will be honoring Prince in city council chambers today, and my understanding is that members of his family will be there for that honoring, and they are doing a special gala fundraiser tonight. I am, of course, as you know, on the board of directors for the LA Jazz Festival Foundation, and so we are involved with that as well. I'm really proud to be. If you're not tracking the LA Jazz Festival, let's do it now. I don't know why I say they. I'm on the board of the foundation. It's a socially innovative jazz festival. I don't know that anything quite like this has been done before, in that the big week on the beach, the 22nd, 23rd of August, that's going to be more like what we think of when we think of a jazz festival. Big party outside, big stages, lots of different acts. But there are activities for the 10 days prior to that all over LA. And a lot of them are free or very low cost. There are community tours where you can find out about the legacy of jazz and black access when it comes to beachlands here in the Southland recreational spaces. Kind of a continuation of the conversations we've had around the Ebony Beach Club and Bruce's Beach. There will be that. There are concerts after dark. There are in smaller venues all around the Southland. There are free concerts, one in every council district. So this is definitely something to track. And you can go to LA Jazz Festival on Instagram, go to the website, and just keep your eyes peeled, because some things are going to be tickets going on sale and you're going to want to buy them. Other things are going to be free, but you're going to want to reserve a space, or maybe, just make sure you get up and get there. And man, if I wasn't sworn to silence, I could tell you some of the things, the venues, the acts. It's really exciting, and I'm proud to be part of it. It's been a long journey. Bridge Street Incorporated, the brainchild of Martin Ludlow, who was a former council member, former head of the LA Federation of Labor here, along with so many musical giants. And of course, the Jazz Summer Camp is already in motion. Big old palate refresher this morning, huh? Where they gather the top high school jazz musicians from all over the country, and they have a camp. I think we've been doing it for 2 years already, where they study with jazz greats from all over the world, and they spend a summer or a good chunk of a summer, just woodshedding, like the jazz players say, just working on their craft, and then they'll do a series of performances at the end of the summer. And wow, I mean, I've said it before on this show, those young people give me hope in humanity, because it reminds me that no matter what he who shall not be named is doing in Washington, there's a kid somewhere practicing his trumpet. There's a young woman somewhere drilling on drums. You know what I mean? And for me, that is the joy, that is the hope, that is the progress, that's the creativity that has saved America, saved black people, saved brown people, saved us time and time and time again. So tap in with that for sure. It's a beautiful day to call me, 800-920-1580, whether you want to call me now or whether you want to call me in the final hour of the show when I have lots of time, and we are going to do some reminiscing. We're going to play the music of Prince and talk about him as we get ready for 3 hours of those rare digging in the crates conversations that Tavis has compiled for you as one of the few people that got the opportunity to interview Prince over and over and over again, because of course they had a personal friendship. I never got to meet him, but as a as a young woman with a mixed heritage and all kinds of dreams, he made space for me to be myself, as he did for so many others. And so, of course, 10 years in, it's just unbelievable to me. That's been 10 years. But as always, I'd love to hear from you. And as always, we'll be unpacking some of the 12 kinds of crazy that are happening, not just in the nation and in the world, but right here in the Southland. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DePrima, and this is KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the voice of reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
The joint will be jumping. Ebony Repertory Theater, in association with Fig Street Films, brings you one of the most beloved musicals of all time. Tony Award winner, Ain't Misbehavin'. The soulful, swinging celebration of the music of Fats Waller. From the rollicking to the romantic, this show is pure magic, full of the songs that defined an era and the voices that'll make you forget everything else for a night. Foot-stomping, heart-stirring, unforgettable. Don't miss Ain't Misbehavin' at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center, starring Lettucey, directed by Ren T. Brown. This is the night out you've been waiting for. Tickets are going fast, so don't wait. Grab yours now at ebonyrep.org or call the box office today at 323-964-9766. Ebony Repertory Theater, bringing the culture, keeping the legacy alive.
Ain't Misbehavin' runs May 21st through June 8th at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center. Get your tickets now.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Right now, 800-920-1580 is the number if you want to call in. I would love to hear from you. Okay, so yikes and yikes. Just there's a lot of scary stories in the news right now. I don't like to focus on gloom and doom because I feel like we get enough of that from the mainstream news, but I also do not like to ignore things that are happening around us. It is a balance, and I look to you, the KBLA delegation, for some guidance on that. And, you know, what do you want to hear more of? What do you not want to hear more of? One of the stories that I'm referring to is this singer, D4vid, who has now been charged with first-degree murder for killing a 14-year-old girl, Eunissis Hernandez, who was found in the trunk of his Tesla. Now, this is a weird story to me, Miles, because we've been hearing about it, seems like almost a year. We've been hearing about how they found this girl dismembered, chopped up, in the trunk of this guy's Tesla.
September 8th.
Okay, so it's all, yeah, I mean, it's what, 8 months?
Like 8 months, yeah, it's been a minute.
And first they kept saying he wasn't a suspect, but they were just questioning him or something. They always say that, it seems like. And then at a certain point, it's like the body's in the trunk of the Tesla. The Tesla was abandoned on the street. It was impounded. And then when it starts to smell really terrible, the impound yard looks into it and there's a body there, but it's registered to you. And then from what I understand, the LAPD pushed the envelope here and arrested him before the district attorney's office was ready because they were tired of waiting. So I'm just wondering, really, I mean, I'm not a detective, obviously, but you kind of wonder what took so long, right?
Yeah, and, you know, it gets messy when you start including I guess celebrities. Would you say he's a celebrity? But he's not the celebrity at the level of we know celebrities in LA can be celebrities. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's like probably a C-lister or a D-list. My child always tells me I'm a D or E-lister.
The streamer type.
He's more famous than me, but less famous than Rihanna.
He was about to go out on tour like before the whole thing.
Well, didn't he go on tour? I thought he was touring while they were investigating, which was special.
I mean, he started the tour, and I believe they canceled the tour after it all started.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, look, I guess it's confusing because I feel like if you or I had a chopped up body in the trunk of our car, it wouldn't take 8 months for us to get arrested.
Yeah. It's all going to play out in the open. So let's, I guess, keep a. We'll keep a lookout for you. Don't let this distract you. But
he's innocent until proven guilty. But also, why didn't they just arrest him for having a long-term sexual relationship with a 14-year-old?
Start there, too.
They say long-term. How long-term can it be when she's 14?
And his document is written down. It's on paper. It's in these chat rooms. It's documented.
So, long-term since she was 12? And that is definitely a crime. I know it doesn't seem like it if you're tracking the Epstein files, but it is against the law. You don't get to have sex with kids.
She was a runaway as well. It says she ran away from her parents to be around and kick it with David. So
yeah, apparently she would run away, then she'd go back home, and then she'd run back away and stay with him, and then go back home. And I was wrong. I thought she was Mexican, but it turns out she's Salvadorian. Which isn't good news for David if he goes to prison because, of course, that's MS-13. And I'm pretty sure they don't look favorably on chopping up children.
She slept with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought she was Mexican-American, but apparently her parents were born in El Salvador, and I think she was born here. They call him Alt Pop, but also, and I guess... Remember when it hasn't been that long. Seems like we went through last year and the year before, we went through a period where a whole bunch of rappers were getting in trouble for what they wrote in their lyrics. Like they were writing about the crimes, and then those lyrics were being used against them by prosecutors. Notably Fonnie Willis in Atlanta.
Young Thug stuff.
Yeah. Well, this seems like it could be a similar situation. He's got a song called Romantic Homicide.
I dreamed about killing you and I didn't shed a tear. Word for word. Yeah.
I mean, it could be, I guess, just poetry, but it seems like a confession.
That low vibrational I don't know, Dominique. Like we could stay there. We could take it way deeper, Dominique. 'Cause this is...
What's way deeper than that? I killed you and it was cool.
I mean the mental state of the people that are creating. This is Prince Day. You know what I'm saying? This is Prince's anniversary day. We're talking about one of the most intentional artists that we have in our memory bank. And what he was using his lyrics for and the messages that he was portraying, like it was really a magic of what he was using to make music with.
Yeah, dark magic, yeah.
And dark magic, yeah. And
I mean,
just where we're at now.
It's like demonic. To me, what I see, the vibe is giving devil worshiping.
My David, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this is Prince Day, where we're honoring the spirit and the energy of the music in Prince, but look at the energy and the music of what the youngest is putting out like right now. You know what I'm saying? He's going on tour, and there are people digesting this by the thousands and thousands and thousands. So, just another indicator of why we need to, watch the music that's we ingest, watch we put into our mind, to our ears, and watch the babies too, because this is a sad one. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's very sick, and maybe we need to get our LAPD and our district attorney on those Epstein files. It could take a while, but at least we could get some arrests, some accountability, because you don't get to have sex with children. It's against the law. And not only that, to me, like, we shouldn't even need a law for that. It's gross. You definitely don't get to murder them, but also you don't. They're not sexual objects, no matter how so-called grown they supposedly look. That's not even the point. Yeah, so that's a really creepy. And you're right. I hate to be talking about it on this day, but they finally arrested this guy, and now he's being charged with murder, first-degree murder. And I'm sure this is going to be, in this age, I guess he's not a D-list celebrity because he has 4 million followers. That's probably
that's okay.
C-list, right?
All right. I mean, we can. I guess that all counts as social currency, so sure. But yeah.
Yeah. No, well, I'm only saying that because it means it's going to be an online spectacle.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's good.
The trial itself, not because I think that means he's a great guy. I mean, people buy followers. People get followers doing, killing cats. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to get followers.
The thing is, too, with these last few years, we've had very, very open and very detailed and very graphic court cases, so I don't expect this one to be any different. So we're probably going to see some very specific and gross details when this one comes out.
Yeah, EC Courtney is saying they had to build a case and gather evidence to move forward. We got some sick, evil people in our midst. Yeah, I get that. I'm not a detective, but, I mean, chopped up body, car registered to him. I'm sure there have to be fingerprints.
Chopped up child.
Chopped up child, absolutely. Yeah, it's, anyway. 800-920-1580. Didn't want to spend too much time on it, but I'm sad for her family. I'm sad for her community. I'm sad for babies everywhere. News, traffic, and sports, then more on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. FBI Director Kash Patel says he's suing The Atlantic over a report alleging concerns about his behavior and alcohol use.
We're not going to take this laying down. You want to attack my character? Come at me. Bring it on. I'll see you in court.
Speaking on Fox's Sunday Morning Futures, Patel called the reporting fake news. Friends say the man accused of burning down a massive California warehouse had grown increasingly agitated about politics. Prosecutors say Shamil Abdul Karim filmed the fire, ranted about capitalist greed, and now faces state and federal charges. The 29-year-old says he didn't make a livable wage. And former Vice President Kamala Harris criticized President Trump this weekend, saying his war with Iran has weakened America. Speaking in Chicago, she also urged Democrats to focus on affordable child care, health care, and housing ahead of November. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Head to Waba Grill for $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. and try our new chili crisp dumplings paired with a premium beverage drink like our new strawberry watermelon lemonade energy refresher, both for just $5 only at Waba Grill.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The number one storyline for Game 2 tonight in the Lakers playoff series against the Houston Rockets is whether Kevin Durant will be in the lineup. The 37-year-old Durant missed Game 1 Saturday with a bruised knee. The Rockets are listing Durant as a game-time decision. Durant is 5th on the NBA all-time scoring list. He leads the Rockets with 26 points per game. Despite Durant's uncertain status, the Rockets are still 4.5-point favorites to beat the Lakers tonight. 7:30 tip-off at Crypto.com. A.J. English is the new men's basketball coach at HBCU Virginia Union. English replaces Lester Butler, who became head coach at HBCU Winston-Salem State. English was the NCAA Division II Player of the Year in 1990. Later that year, he was a second-round pick in the NBA draft of the Washington Bullets. The Washington franchise changed their name to the Wizards in 1997. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Prince and the Revolution!
10 years ago, the world lost a genius.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life.
Prince trusted few people. Tavis Smiley was one of them.
Good evening from Los Angeles. I'm Tavis Smiley. Tonight, a rare conversation with one of music's biggest superstars, Prince.
Prince opened up to Tavis in ways he rarely did with anyone else. Honest, unfiltered, and unforgettable. On Tuesday, April 21st, as we mark the 10th anniversary of his transition, experience 3 uninterrupted hours of Prince in his own words.
When people criticize my work and attack my personality, it doesn't help me. I can't do anything with it.
Don't just remember Prince, hear him.
We live in a place now that feels just about like a plantation. We're all indentured servants.
Tavis Smiley, Tuesday, April 21st, only on Tavis Smiley.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. The midterm election campaign season is here now. The 2028 presidential election is right around the corner. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. It's all in for 2026 and 2028. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Taxi! Taxi!
KBLA Talk 1580. All right. It's Prince Day, Prince's Angelversary today. I can't believe it's been 10 years already. That is crazy. But he's being honored today in City Hall, honored here at KBLA with full 3 hours of his voice on Tavis Smiley's show. And our phone lines are open all day if you want to dedicate a Prince song, if you want to say which one is your favorite, if you've got a story to tell, if you had a close encounter of the purple kind. I would love to hear from you at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Right now, covering all the things. We usually start with the left coast. We will be hearing from a candidate here for LA City Council District 1 in just a few minutes. The governor's race is topsy-turvy, as they say, truly, right? Because Eric Swalwell crashed and burned. I mean, he crashed out, right? He's dropped out, crashed out, under investigation, resigned from Congress. Who saw that coming? If you did, I think you're probably not telling the truth, or maybe you know him a little too well and you should have said something sooner. And the wild thing is that Javier Becerra, in the latest poll by Democrats, has jumped up to 13%, now tied with Tom Steyer. Now, Becerra is a former Health and Human Services Secretary. He's a longtime lawmaker, but he doesn't have these big coffers, right? Tom Steyer he's a billionaire. He's using his own money, and he's got probably, I believe he has the biggest coffers. Matt Mahan, the mayor of San Jose, has got a lot of money too, because he's got the tech bros, the Trump tech bros mostly backing him. The ones that aren't following the president. The president said Steve Hilton is his guy. He likes the Fox TV guy. the Republican. And so that guy, of course, for the ones that are loyalists, they're giving their money to him. But a lot of the tech bros know that this is California and it's unlikely for an outright Republican to win. So what they're doing is they're backing the so-called conservative, the so-called moderate. That's the key, the secret word that really means, usually it means Democrat in name only. It means, your Joe Manchin types, right? And that's what we have, it appears, in San Jose's mayor. He's got tons of money, $11 million, for a guy who's polling at 2 or 3%. That is remarkable, right? How did that happen? He's in San Jose, and that's right where a lot of those Silicon Valley folks are. And so he's getting that support from those folks. And so, follow the money. I always say Becerra doesn't have a lot of money in his coffers. He's going to need to get some pretty quickly, with Steyer spending $12 million of his own. Mahan's got the Peter Thiel money. And so far, it looks like Becerra is surging with the people. So, it's anybody's race. And you still have 2 Republicans at or near the top. We are going to be hearing next from a candidate for District 1 here in Los Angeles. They will have exactly 15 minutes to talk to you and get to know her. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is dedicated to inspiring youth and resilience through storytelling, arts, filmmaking, and enrichment programs for youth and families in under-resourced communities and system-impacted individuals. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit providing free and low-cost arts programs to youth and families from under-resourced communities, both system-impacted youth and those affected by the incarceration of a loved one. 1 in 43 children in America have a parent incarcerated. 70% of those children are expected to end up in prison. Through filmmaking, animation, theater, and writing, they help young people express themselves, build confidence, and imagine new possibilities. Beyond the arts, they offer financial literacy workshops, emergency support, and scholarships. Because thriving takes more than talent, it takes access. To learn more about the impact of Michael Daughters Foundation and how you can be a part of the movement, please visit their website, michaelsdaughterfoundation.com. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Getting around LA doesn't have to cost a lot. Metro has fares that fit every budget. 20 free rides for qualified riders through the Life Fare program. Free passes for students with GoPass and affordable options for everyone in between. Wherever you're going, Metro's got you covered. Visit metro.net/fare programs.
Hi, I'm Fred Martin, founder of Compton Kids Club. I just want to talk about the authenticity and tell y'all about my homeboy, Tom Steyer. Tom is a rock star. When I met him, Tom gave a grant to schools in San Francisco. All the kids were on probation. We were flying instructors for 2 years to come and help those kids doing performing arts and turning their life around. Some of the kids that he supported, they've graduated from UCLA. Let's fast forward. Tom is in schools in Compton, hanging out with the kids in the piano classes. Brother Tom Steyer hangs out in the studio with us. These are the seeds that he's planted. This has nothing to do with elections. What's coming out of his mouth is not a campaign speech. It's authentic, and when he say he walks away from a business because he want to do his values, he ain't making that up because he's running for governor. This man is real.
Ad paid for by Steyer for Governor 2026.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
And it is time to get into it. We will be talking with Sylvia Robledo. She's running for City Council District 1. And as I mentioned, each of our candidates for this particular district, District 1, there are 4 people running. Each of them will have exactly 15 minutes. I would note that you'll be able to find all of these interviews with the various candidates on our website, KBLA 1580. City council districts, each one of them is about 250,000 people, bigger than some cities. It may expand soon, but that's where we are right now. And we are only electing odd-numbered districts this election. They alternate between even and odd. We are on the odd years. The district that we're talking about, District 1, is currently represented by Eunissis Hernandez. Right now, though, it's time to meet a public affairs and communications consultant, a small business owner who currently worked as a field deputy for Council Member Gil Cedillo, who was upset by Eunissis Hernandez when she rose to that position. Sylvia Robledo, welcome.
Thank you. I also worked for Jan Perry and as a policy person in City Hall, and for Mike Wu in City Hall as well. So I've worked in 3 different council offices, and thank you so much for the invitation.
All right, so let's get the elevator pitch, Ms. Robledo, the why should we vote for you elevator pitch.
Well, I've lived in the district for 22 years, and I have the most experience working in city government. I also worked for Fabian Munoz as a district director in the state assembly, and I've also worked in the private sector. But I get things done. I have an understanding of how the city works, and I'm a practical person. I have a track record in the district. I have a wide variety of support from constituents in the district. And most importantly, I don't have this kind of all or nothing, black or white view of the world or city government. I'm practical. I use common sense. I do believe that we need a strong public safety. We need to support our police department. However, I am well aware of the weaknesses of the police department. Every male in my family has been stopped for racial profiling. I don't like what goes on when we have the protest, and I understand the weaknesses of the police department, but I also feel that we still need strong public safety to support our constituents. And one of the main issues that a lot of the constituents have told me is that constituent services are really poor. The current councilwoman is a purist and kind of really concerned about a lot of her policy issues. She's a DSA candidate, and she has a lot of no common sense and doesn't get things done in the district. People call, phone calls don't get returned. The people don't have the office hours here in the Northeast office, so there's just some basic services and things that have to be taken care of. And I do believe in cleaning the streets. Homelessness has gone up 18% in Council District 1 since she's taken office. So people are well aware of what needs to be done. And I've done it, and I can do it, and I'm ready to take on the challenge.
I can't verify the claims, so she's the candidate is making claims, and you guys can fact check in real time on your own. You said you don't think in black and white. Do you mean African American and Anglo American, or do you mean black and white as in one
ideology.
No gray area? Okay, so break that.
No
what does that look like in a practical setting?
On a practical level, well, when the reality, and you were just talking about the governor's race, and the reality of when you run for office, that there's a lot of special interest. You're supported. People, a lot of candidates in order to run for office need money. And so you get these constituencies, these special interests that support you. For instance, all the unions, the police department, the business community. And they expect you to, and a lot of elected officials, vote for them in every issue that they want you to. And I like to make policy, and I like to make my decisions in life on what is common sense and what's practical and what's good for the district, and then you make decisions on what's good for the city overall. So like I said, I do believe in public safety, but I also understand the weaknesses of the police department. I understand it's important that people are treated with dignity.
So does that mean you don't take money from the LAPPL? You don't take money from the police union? You don't take money from developers? You don't take money from who would you not accept donations from?
Well, I haven't as of yet, but I'll be honest, it doesn't mean that I will not. I'm just saying that the way I'll vote is going to be what's best for the city of Los Angeles or best for my district. And when you don't do that, then perhaps they don't support you again. However, I am going to vote for what my conscience, and I'm going to vote and do the things that are best for the constituents of this district, and then also another layer on what's best for the city of Los Angeles. So a lot of time when the special interests, when they support you, they expect you to vote every way that they want you, and if you don't, they won't support you again.
Understood.
So that's what I'm saying.
You also said you don't like what goes on with the protests. Can you tell me more specifically what you mean by that?
Well, I mean, there's a difference between people protesting and their First Amendment rights and free speech than a riot. And I don't like that the horses are being brought out for some of these No Kings rallies. And I don't think there should be a strong use of force when it's not necessary. And I understand the police department because they're also scared. They're also scared for their safety, and sometimes perhaps they react too quickly. But I do think that it's a very difficult job being a police officer, I could imagine, especially now and towards the attitude towards the police, and they're scared, and sometimes they react too quickly, and I don't believe in using so much force, especially in any situation.
Do you believe in continually increasing their budget, or do you think they are already taking up too much of the city budget?
I do believe in increasing the number of police officers, and I believe in assessing why the budget is so strong with the police department because of the lawsuits. And
That's actually not correct because those lawsuits come out of the general fund, not the police department budget. Okay.
But it's an overall budget in terms of the city budget. And then the other thing is the overtime is a big, and of course the pay. But the overtime is really a very big as well. So I want to assess, why is that overtime? Is it because we don't have police officers and overcompensating for but I do remember I have this friend that was a captain. He's retired. And I would, talk to him. I go, what's going on? Oh, he goes, I'm so excited he was going to work overtime at Dodger Stadium. And I'm thinking, why is a captain who has a very large salary working overtime at Dodger Stadium? It should be the rank and file who are just recently hired. In other words, so you have to assess how decisions are made. Why do we have so much overtime? Is there something that we can do there to improve the situation? So I'd like to assess why, how we can save money within the budget, but I do believe we need to have more officers, especially for a city like Los Angeles.
I read where you came up about 14 signatures short on your nomination petition, and some of the other challengers in this race helped you get those last few signatures just because none of you guys want Eunissis Hernandez. Why this hyper-focus on this progressive council member? Eunissis Hernandez. Why is it so important to all of you guys to target her?
It's not so much that she's a progressive, it's more that she's incompetent. It could be someone that's in there progressive and then does a good job. So it's more about the fact that I think she's an ideologist, and she like I said, they don't answer phone calls. The office is always closed. Just the basic constituent services aren't being met, and it's more about the lack of her ability of leadership. For instance, I'll give you an example. She beat Gil during the first run. There wasn't anybody else running, so she had 6 months longer than everybody else to put her team in place. And even by the first year, at the beginning, first 6 months, she didn't have a full staff. She wasn't capable as a manager to have a team in place when everybody else had already had a couple months. As soon as they got elected after the second part of the election, then they already had their team in place, but she didn't. And then people would meet with her, and she said, I'll be honest with you, the job was more overwhelming than I expected. And they said, well, we've already given you a year, and we don't see the people that supported her, the people that did win against Cedillo. So we've already given you a year. And she still hasn't been able to get it together to do the job.
Oh, sorry, I'm managing the clock here.
Go ahead.
So just quickly, since you bring up Gil Cedillo, who you did work with, what we do associate him with the whole scandal at City Hall, which was hugely problematic for Black voters. What would you say to reassure African Americans or folks that are interested in allyship or coalitionship that you don't represent that mentality?
Like I said, I also worked for Mike Wu, and I also worked for Jan Perry, and I also worked for Fabian Nunez. And all of you know, I'm not my boss. I mean, I've been sexually harassed on the job. Doesn't mean I'm a sexual harasser. I mean, I did my job. I focused people. I have a long track record of outreach, and also, being a social justice advocate. I was a Chicano Studies major at UCLA. I have my strongest allies have always been in the African American community, and so I'm not my boss, and I had already left that office when that decision, that occurred. But I have a good record. People that know me know who I am, and I'm a different person. My identity is not according to who I work for, who was my boss. I have a lot of different identities. I have worked for a lot of different people. It's about my actions and who I am.
And what would you say your vision is for CD1? What is the, aside from I'm not the candidate I'm running against, what would we be voting for?
I'm voting for responsive constituent services, number one. Number two, clean and walkable streets. The homeless encampment situation in CD1 is just overwhelming. It's just not, people don't feel safe. People want compassion, but people want clean streets, and people want action. I am a strong believer of getting rid of the Los Angeles Homeless Authority. I think they're irresponsible. I want accountability, transparency. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing we housed 100 people for $100 million. And, some of the times when I hear those numbers, I think they could give a house to the number of people that they've housed. And it's just kind of
So what do you replace LASA with?
I do think that we need just the county. The county has taken their money out of LASA.
So you want to move all homelessness services to the county and not have a city agency at all?
No, I want a city agency. Remember, this is not a direct city agency. This is a different kind of agency.
Right, city-county partnership.
I want a city agency that does that handles, especially does the transparency with the funding, because as you know, if it's a city agency or a county agency, then how the spending is tracked, it's visible. It's anybody has access to that information. You're accountable, and also that we could partner with the the county for any kind of. I do believe we need to provide I had a brother that was schizophrenic. We need to provide mental health services. We need to provide drug addiction and alcohol addiction services. This program of just a revolving door of housing someone for 2 weeks and then out. And then what they're doing is they're housing someone that's disabled, with someone that's mentally ill, with someone that got evicted, that someone has a drug addiction.
So do you, to clean up the streets, do you want to use the anti-camping ordinance 4118, or do you believe in abolishing it?
Yes, I will.
You will use it.
No, I do believe. Yes, I will use it. It's necessary. Yes, I will.
Okay, Ms. Robledo, you got a minute here. Tell us how to find out more about your campaign and give us your closing argument.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. I have a long history of being a social justice advocate. But at the same time, I want to be efficient and not waste taxpayer money. I want to have real and compassionate solutions for the homeless. I can be reached. My website is easy. It's my name, sylviarobledo.com. And I have my social media. You can have access to my social media through the website. And as I said, my commitment is to serve the constituents of Council District 1, and also on a second layer, do what's best for the city of Los Angeles. We have a lot of issues at hand. I feel that we're all affected by what's going on with the homeless situation. 30% of the homeless are veterans. I had a brother that was a veteran, and we have the situation with, I think we also have to provide money for people that I'm a small landlord, and I know I work with my tenants I've never evicted anybody because they couldn't pay the rent. I work with them on a payment plan if they lose their job, or have them pay me every 2 weeks without a late fee charge.
Gotta leave it there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Sylvia Robledo,
running
for Council District 1. We will be joined by Jared Hill when we come forward, talking national and international on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. FBI Director Kash Patel says he's suing The Atlantic over a report alleging concerns about his behavior and alcohol use.
We are not going to take this laying down. You want to attack my character? Come at me. Bring it on. I'll see you in court.
Speaking on Fox's Sunday Morning Futures, Patel called the reporting fake news. Friends say the man accused of burning down a massive California warehouse had grown increasingly agitated about politics. Prosecutors say Shamil Abdul Karim filmed the fire, ranted about capitalist greed, and now faces state and federal charges. The 29-year-old says he didn't make a livable wage. And former Vice President Kamala Harris criticized President Trump this weekend, saying his war with Iran has weakened America. Speaking in Chicago, she also urged Democrats to focus on affordable child care, health care, and housing ahead of November. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Head to Waba Grill for $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. and try our new chili crisp dumplings paired with a premium beverage drink like our new strawberry watermelon lemonade energy refresher, both for just $5 only at Waba Grill.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The number one storyline for Game 2 tonight in the Lakers playoff series against the Houston Rockets is whether Kevin Durant will be in the lineup. The 37-year-old Durant missed Game 1 Saturday with a bruised knee. The Rockets are listing Durant as a game-time decision. Durant is 5th on the NBA all-time scoring list. He leads the Rockets with 26 points per game. Despite Durant's uncertain status, the Rockets are still 4.5-point favorites to beat the Lakers tonight. 7:30 tip-off at Crypto.com. A.J. English is the new men's basketball coach at HBCU Virginia Union. English replaces Lester Butler, who became head coach at HBCU Winston-Salem State. English was the NCAA Division II Player of the Year in 1990. Later that year, he was a second-round pick in the NBA draft of the Washington Bullets. The Washington franchise changed their name to the Wizards in 1997. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
There is no denying that we've always been the conscience of this country. KBLA Talk 1580 is progressive talk radio built for our community, by our community, and with hosts who look like you.